So my dear sweet husband called me from the grocery store yesterday and said, "Babe, I know you have basil, but they have these big plants and they're only like $3 or $4. Did you need one?" Or yeah, babe. The answer to that is always yes. Anyway, I am gonna let this hang out and harden off for a couple of days because it has been in the grocery store for who knows how long. It probably was grown under grow lights for its whole life. So I'm going to let it get hardened off, and then I'm going to show you the best way to prune it. Well, pretty much everyone who has a YouTube channel about gardening has done a video on this, but I'm going to do this one, and it's just going to be really quick because this is just such a prime example of what you can do. I just can't let that opportunity be wasted, but it's just going to be short because I hate the videos where you're trying to figure out how to do something in the garden and the video starts with, when I was a little girl on my grandmother's farm. No one's here for that. I'm sorry. So hang on, I'll let you in a second. So this big plant, we're going to have some caprese salads tonight, and I need all these leaves because I'm going to eat them up. Okay, so you can see how this grows. Use this big one here, how where the big leaves come out, that it's got these two little new tops that start in there. I'm going to cut this off right here, and what's going to happen is those are going to grow, and then when they grow up like this, I'm going to cut them too, and it just goes on and on and on. You can bush out your plant and get leaves, and then later on you can come back through and take out some of these leaves. I'm not going to take too many off this right now. I do need a lot for dinner, but I also want to keep this going so that if I have to make spaghetti or do something like that, I will have some available. And then I think my secret master plan here, it's a secret, let me tell y'all, is I'm going to pot this up into something a little bit bigger and put some real soil, because I think this is not even soil. I think it's coconut coir or something. And then later on in the season, I'm going to move this into the house and see how long I could keep it all over winter. See if I can keep it alive, and then see if I'll be able to bring it back out next spring. I don't really think basil's supposed to be a perennial, but we're going to try. I know who would know is Mike. Shout out Mike from Mike's Chaotic Gardening. He does a ton of stuff indoors. He's got some nice plants. So I bet Mike would know. Put a comment, Mike. Let me know what you think. Anyway, I'm going to get this pruned up, and then I'll come back and show you how it looks, and then I'll go make dinner. Thanks. Okay, so you can see on this little one right where the little stem was that I cut off, and these are the new little sets of leaves that are coming out. I did that to all of them. Well, almost all of them. I got a whole bowl full of basil. Okay, this one here, where it's already started these new sets of leaves, I'm going to go ahead and take off these big leaves off the side because I'm going to eat them. Pinch. Careful. Easy, easy. So for this whole plant that my husband paid like $3.50, I think he said, for, that's a lot of basil, and this thing's just going to keep growing on. So I just saved myself a bit of money doing all that. So I'm going to move this guy back into the shade. Still kind of hardening off. Don't tell my husband I have the Cutco scissors outside. Let's get those back in the kitchen right away. It's the next day, and this plant still looks fine, so I'm going to go ahead and pot it up. But during the whole video, I did refer to it as a plant, and it's actually not. Like, you can see some of the little, these are each individual little tiny plants. They just way overseed these things so they look full and lush without actually having to handle pruning them themselves, right? It's tricky, sneaky stuff. So theoretically, if you open this up, you could actually separate these plants apart and plant them individually. Then you could have some to share with your friends or put in different places in your yard or whatever. This I'm going to leave in just one big clump. I've got just a little bit larger pot here that I'm going to put this in. just so it has more room for all of its roots and to hold more water. But yeah, I'm gonna leave it all together in one big cluster. I might pull out some of the little baby plants so it doesn't get too super crowded. Anyway, I just had to point that out.